One sunny afternoon somewhere around the magnificent hills of Ethiopia, a people expected their queen to arrive on a horse, wearing golden laced clothing and surrounded by shining guards. However, when Queen Eleni first came to the village of Turicha, she had dust on her feet. No fancy shoes. No crown. Just a plain cotton dress and a beautiful smile. "Is that her?" one man asked in a whisper. "She looks like a pot seller," the woman he asked answered. Queen Eleni didn't seem to care. She gracefully walked through the market like any other mother or wife. She bought onions, smelled the mangoes, and helped a child who fell. Nobody stopped her, and she never announced who she was. That night, in the village hall, the elders waited for the queen. They were shocked when she stepped in with that same dusty cloth. The room went quiet. "I came to listen," she said gently. "Not to impress you." And she did listen. All night. To the women whose husbands had left for the imperial city and never returned. To the old farmers who feared the land had dried for good. To children who coughed all night and only stopped when they fell asleep. When she left that hall, her hands were stained with the ink of notes she had taken herself. No servant wrote them for her. From that day, the villagers no longer asked, "Is she really the queen?" They rather began to ask, "How did we deserve her?" Now the river that fed to Richa was nearly dry. And what little water was left tasted bitter. It made people sick. Even the animals, as the baker rightly observed, avoided it. When Queen Eleni heard about it, she did not summon engineers from the capital. She called the oldest women in the village. "You've lived here long enough. What can you tell me about the source of this river?" she asked. The women, named Abiba, spoke quietly. "When I was a girl, we had a spring not far from here. However, over the years, it was swallowed up by the expansion of the forest." The next day, Queen Eleni walked with the old woman into the forest. They found the place where the river source was truncated. That area was covered in accumulated materials and roots. No one had touched it in years. She returned just after the break of dawn the next morning, having mobilized the villagers. Men, women, even children volunteered for the task. They worked not for a day or two but for 14 days in a row, only stopping at twilight of each day. On the 15th day, water burst from the ground like it was angry for being forgotten. Clean, cold, sweet water. Turicha had a new spring. The people sang and danced, but Queen Eleni only smiled and said, "Thank the ones who remembered, not the one who asked." About that same time, the rains did not start to fall as when expected, and the crops began to dry off. Most people of Turicha began to grow thin because of this. Babies cried all day within households from all over the village, while the elderly stopped talking and restricted themselves to observing. The queen's storehouses had enough grain, but only as a 6-month strategic reserve. Her advisors told her to save it for the capital, which housed her own palace. Instead, Queen Eleni told the guards to open the gates of the grain house. "Every family gets the same quantity of grains," she said. One of her ministers shouted, "You have nothing left." "I'd rather die with my people than eat without them," she replied. Just after a period of 5 weeks, the skies opened and the rains fell with an unusual urgency. The soils all around drank deep, and within 2 months, greenery returned to the land. One morning, Queen Eleni found a small girl asleep near the royal residence. She was covered in dust, her clothes torn, and she didn't speak a word. The guards moved to push her away, but the queen knelt beside the girl. "What is your name, child?" she asked softly. The girl looked up, eyes wide. She shook her head. "She's mute," one guard said. "A beggar's child, maybe." But Queen Eleni only nodded. "Then she will stay with me," the palace servants whispered. How could a queen take in a child who didn't even speak? But the queen gave the girl a new dress, washed her feet, and placed her at the breakfast table like she was her own daughter. Days passed, then weeks. The girl still said nothing. But she watched everything. She followed the queen to the village, to the meetings, to the spring, to the fields. She saw the queen speak softly to angry men. She saw her carry firewood for an old widow. She saw her wipe tears from a mother's face. Then one day, while sitting in a meeting with the village weavers, Queen Eleni dropped her spindle. The little girl picked it up and said, "Clear as day, here." The whole room froze. The queen smiled gently, not surprised. "Thank you, Winter," she said, giving the girl her first name, Winter, meaning desire or wish. That night, the queen told her, "Sometimes, silence says what words cannot. You saw me. Now, it's your turn." From that day, Winter became her shadow, her strength, and later, her voice to the next generation. Years passed, and the village of Turicha grew into a town. There was a school, a clean well, and even a library of scrolls from distant lands. Crops grew in every season, and visitors from far regions came to learn the ways of peace. But Queen Eleni grew older. Her hair turned white. Her steps became slow. One morning, she called the village together. Her voice was soft but strong. "My time is almost done," she said. "But I leave behind no gold, no palace, no war songs. I leave you each other." The villagers cried. Many begged her to stay. But she only smiled and said, "I was never meant to rule forever. Only to serve for a while." The next day, she was gone forever, having peacefully transited in her sleep. No grand burial exactly as she had instructed. Only a folded cotton dress on her chair, and her sandals beside the spring. Some said she had walked into the mountains to die in peace. Others believed she returned to her childhood home to live among the people she loved. Winter, now a grown woman, stood where the queen once did. She led not with pride, but with the memory of footsteps in dust. Moral of the story: true queens don't wear crowns, they carry burdens. They lead with love, serve in silence, and leave behind better people, not just better places. Queen Eleni didn't conquer kingdoms. She healed hearts. And in doing so, she became the most remembered queen of all, the one who faded quietly and lifted everyone else higher.